Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Little Women. So this is another winner of one of our polls. If you're interested in voting for what's next, be sure to check out the community tab. There won't be many polls there for a while because it's coming up to December, so I have some Christmas movies set up already for December. But after December, there will be some more polls again. So I really don't know a lot about this, but I know a lot about kind of the cast and who's in it. You know, it's Greta Gerwig. I absolutely love her other movies. Lady Bird is like a top 3 movie for me. And then Frances Ha was also great. Then this is starring Saoirse Ronan, Florence Pugh, Emma Watson. You know, it's a great cast. I love all of those actresses. And then of course Timothée Chalamet's in this as well. So there's a real star-studded cast by a director that I love. So I am really looking forward to this, and I know it's kind of like a period piece drama, and that's kind of like a guilty pleasure for me, so I am looking forward to this. My best friend was really obsessed with the book like a year or so ago, and she has talked to me about it a bit, so there are some things that I kind of remember about the plot, but I'm like not exactly sure, and I don't know what character each of the actresses is playing, and my memory of what I've been told is kind of hazy anyway, so I don't think that's gonna ruin any of my experience in the slightest. And then of course the title of the movie is Little Women, so I'm imagining it is like a coming of age kind of story, them growing up. It's probably about the transition from being a girl into a woman, that kind of transition. And I know all of the characters are all sisters, I believe, so that's kind of what I know about the story. It's not a lot, but it's enough to give me an idea of what it is and to get excited about it. But I'm most excited for Greta Gerwig and this amazing cast. So before we get into this, be sure to check out the Patreon. Over there you can find 1 week early access, because next week will be Taken, which was another winner of one of our polls. So if you want to have 1 week early access for that and for all of the future uploads, be sure to check out the Patreon. So yeah, let's just jump into Little Women.
A friend of mine desired me to offer a story by her. She wrote it. She'd be glad to write more if this suits.
Is it her own story and she's saying that it's a friend?
Sit.
He's being very aggressive, putting them down. He's trying to show disinterest, or is he? I can't tell if he's laughing at what the content or just laughing at how bad it is. Kind of, yeah. He's just scoffing at it.
We'll take this.
Oh.
You will?
With alterations. It's too long.
Okay, so he was crossing out that page because it was too long.
Morals don't sell nowadays. Perhaps mention that to your friend. Pay 25 to 30 for things of this sort. We'll pay 20 for that.
25 to 30 and paying less, yeah.
And if the main character is a girl, make sure she's married by the end.
So she got her story published. I thought it was like a news story, but it seems like it was fiction because he was saying make sure she's married. If the main character is a girl, make sure she's married or dead by the end.
You're on fire.
Literally on fire.
Always working.
Money is the end and aim of my mercenary existence.
No one gets ink stains like yours just out of a desire for money.
Well,
Yeah, they showed the ink stains on her hands earlier.
to me to keep the family afloat.
So it seems like a love interest, but it's pretty one-sided at the moment. He's just interested in her. She's too busy with her career.
Couldn't lift a hairbrush.
Is this their mum then?
Very true, Aunt Marge.
Oh, aunt. Meryl Streep.
The girl is sick, not lonely. And you shouldn't go home until you and Fred Vaughn.
So they said we just got out of a war. What war were they talking about? Laurie, okay, yeah, like childhood friends,
So beautiful
Oh,
now.
stop it.
I thought you liked that
No,
sort of
where's
thing.
your grandpa?
but she's going to be engaged to someone else.
Don't tell your mother.
Are you chasing some young girl across Europe?
No.
Yeah, that look.
I know.
John needs a new coat for winter, and Daisy and Demi need new clothes.
And his wife needs a new dress.
I can't.
Okay, so she's married.
$50. What was I thinking?
So she just spent $50 on that dress. So it's set in America. I wasn't sure of the setting for a sec. As you see all the extravagant outfits and assume it's like England. Is she actually gonna follow him and go find him?
Exactly who I want to dance with.
Take this.
7 years earlier.
King girls have
Why
flowers.
can't we all go to the party? It's not fair.
Just wear your regular shoes.
Hey, it's in Massachusetts.
It would be pretty if you tried.
Don't want to. Won't do it. Off, and you'll see a perfect ringlet.
I'm so sorry. What have you done?
Burn the hair off.
Don't stare, don't put your hands behind your back. Don't say Christopher Columbus.
That seems like that's quite a relatable thing. Even modern day girls burn their hair off when curling it, don't they? She's just hiding away.
Sorry, I didn't know anyone was here.
Not at all. Stay if you'd like.
I won't disturb you.
No, I don't know many people here.
Yes, Mr. Lawrence, but I'm not Miss March. I'm only Joe.
And I'm not Mr. Lawrence.
Joe March. Is his name Laurie Lawrence?
I don't know how you do things here yet. You see, I've spent most of my life in Europe.
Europe! Oh, that's capital! You shouldn't use words like that.
That's a weird bit of slang. I don't, that seems like something that could be modern. I don't know.
And I wanted to go fight with him. I can't get over my disappointment in being a girl. I scorched my dress, see? There.
So she's a bit of a tomboy, doesn't like to dance, she wanted to go fight. So is there going to be like a love triangle here? Because it seemed like Amy was kind of interested in him as well, but that was like very far in the 7 years in the future. But she is with someone at that point. So is there like a bit of a love triangle? Because there was that shot where she kind of looked back to him and it did seem like she was kind of interested. Is someone going to see them looking out the window?
I've hurt my ankle. Oh, how am I going to get home?
It's right next door.
Oh, no thank you. We cannot accept.
Leave early. I do.
He wasn't enjoying the party anyway.
Help your sister then back to bed.
He's a wounded soldier.
Apologies for the chaos.
This is like a very chaotic family.
But they look so good.
Really love all the sets and costumes. Like that shot of her sitting there, it looked like it could be a painting, you know? She needs a typewriter. Said a bit of drink. So is he a bit of a playboy then?
I waited an hour for you. Do you want to know what I honestly think of you? With every chance of being good, happy, and useful, you are lazy, faulty, and miserable. With your money, talent, beauty, and health.
Ooh, you think I'm beautiful.
Of course, that's the one thing he picks up on.
Good for you, Saint Amy. I'll be good.
I feel sorry for you, I really do.
Fred Vaughn, ladies and gentlemen.
Fred, I'm so sorry.
Florence loves her little frown that she does, doesn't she?
Plots like this, duels and killing.
It sells, so.
Okay, I was wondering what type of thing that she writes. So she writes, about fights and stuff because she was a bit of a tomboy. But she doesn't want to use her real name as an author. She wants a ghost name.
I think that they're not good.
Oh, wow. I mean, at least he's being honest.
People have always said that I'm talented.
Oh, I think you're talented.
You think she can do better? Because she had morals in them before and now she doesn't. Is that what he doesn't like?
Has no one ever talked to you like this before?
No one's ever. She's not used to criticism.
Joe, your reaction indicates that
My
you must think
reaction
there is some truth. in it.
indicates that you are a pompous blowhard. If you know so much about it, then why don't you just do it yourself?
I don't have the gifts you have.
I'm not sure what to make of that.
We'll forget Joe March.
Is she overreacting or is he being too critical.
And I don't want your opinion because I don't like you very much. So just don't talk.
When he was like, your reaction indicates, I don't know, that seemed a bit gaslighty. But she obviously likes him. Like, she's just reacting a bit negatively. She's obviously friends with him. Come home immediately. Something's happened with Beth. You know, I don't know the content of what she's writing, but perhaps because the guy at the start said, oh, they don't want morals, they just want fun action. Maybe there's not much depth to what she's writing, and that's why he was criticizing it. Because you can definitely have action-focused stuff and still have depth and morals there. Christmas, yeah.
Merry Christmas, world.
I saw she was wearing green and red, but I couldn't be too sure.
They aren't all fallen women.
I can't be an actress.
I have lots of wishes, but my favorite one is to be an artist in Paris and to do fine pictures.
We haven't actually seen any of them together in the modern day, only in these flashbacks. I feel like, have they all like broken up? They've had a big argument and are estranged.
I cannot. I shall fall gracefully into a chair, and I don't care if Hugo comes at me with a pistol.
Hannah.
I'm not acting.
I do like all of these flashback scenes. They're so full of energy. They all have such great chemistry together. Looks like there's something wrong just from the expression on her face.
Merry Christmas, girl.
She's like forcing a smile.
Not far from here lives a poor young woman, Mrs. Hummel. My girls, will you give them your breakfast as a Christmas present?
They'll still have Christmas. That's a huge breakfast, isn't it? They'll still have Christmas dinner as well.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, he's their next door neighbour, isn't he? He lives right by. This is like a bit of a reality check for them, see how other people actually live. They were hesitant at first, but they are helping.
Florence sent it.
Florence Boy's grandfather?
Well, you're giving your Christmas breakfast away, and he wanted you to enjoy it.
Oh, okay.
His grandson Laurie put the idea into his head. We should make friends with him.
Boys scare me.
Oh, don't I wish I could go.
Oh, Joe, we can't give up our only brother. You must be so disappointed.
But remind them that while we wait, we may all work, so these hard days need not be wasted.
I love that shot.
They will be loving children to you. Do their duty faithfully.
So we haven't had much reference or seen the father in the future, so I'm worried what's going to happen to him.
That when I come back to them,
Answer now, my song.
I may be fonder and prouder than ever.
I love this little montage, very ethereal and nostalgic. Oh, his Little Women, that's where the title comes from.
I don't know. She just left.
So something's happened to Beth, and then Frederick's going to blame himself, perhaps.
And what about the girls? She was the best teacher they ever had.
I know.
Does she teach writing to the other girls then?
It's so hard to go back to work after such good times. Oh, I wish it was Christmas every day.
Or New Year's, wouldn't that be exciting?
You can see how much more vibrant the past is. You know, there's not like, they're not telling you it's 7 years prior, like there isn't any more little title cards, but you can just tell a bit from the aesthetic and seeing them all together, obviously. Yeah, and this is the opposite of that last shot.
Someday you'll need me, and you'll wish you had behaved better.
So she's kind of like the mean aunt.
I intend to make my own way in the world.
Oh, well, no one makes their own way. Not really.
But you are not married, Aunt March.
Well, that's because I'm rich. And
Well, so the only way to be an unmarried woman is to be rich.
yes.
But there are precious few ways for women to make money.
She's telling the truth, especially about making your own way. Not many people actually do it.
It's immoral.
Everyone benefited from the system, including you Marches. Why should only the South be punished?
No, there is not. Yes, Mr. Brooke, there's a girl.
No, there is.
He cares more about the girls than he does his learning.
Hello, Amy. I'm Laurie.
I know. You brought my sister back after the dance. I would have never have sprained my ankle. I have lovely small feet, the best in the family. I'm in such trouble.
For drawing that portrait.
Mr. Davis hit me.
Oh.
Fellow can't live on books alone.
I could. Christopher Columbus, look at that.
It's my grandfather. Are you scared of him?
So it seemed like earlier
He looks
they
stern, but my
were
grandfather was much
talking
more
about the
handsome.
system, and then the South was this set. So during the Civil War, when the father's off, is he in the Civil War? And then this post-Civil War, the 7 years later? It would be cool for them to acknowledge. It seems like they might have been acknowledging the slavery side there. I wonder how much they'll delve into that, because they have delved into a bit of wealth disparity with that family that needed food for Christmas.
Tell the little girl to use our piano.
And Joe, borrow whatever book you'd like.
Can I come look at the paintings?
Yes.
There's also a lovely greenhouse.
I'm going to take this.
Oh, Miss Meg, you forgot your glove.
Someone forgot their glove, that classic trope, but I feel like they didn't leave it for him, they left it for Laurie.
From here to the Mississippi River, Miss Meg March.
I love seeing all of these flashbacks. They have such good chemistry together. They have such fun as sisters. All get along really well, don't they?
I wish to propose the admission of a new member, Mr. Theodore Laurie.
Theodore Laurie.
Absolutely not.
No, what? Come now, let's have him.
He's a real boy.
We don't want any boys. This is a
Fine,
And as there was no time like the present.
He's right there, he was hiding. I thought he was behind that.
I merely wish to say as a slight token of my gratitude.
The house is a bit more grey now, it doesn't look... It was really a deep black before.
Oh, you've gotten so big.
Oh, those Meg's kids then.
Beth insisted we not tell her because she didn't want to ruin Amy's trip.
Oh yeah, is Amy off with the aunt then instead of Joe in Europe?
Words, Beth. I want to go to the
I think you'd hate to poke yourself in where you're not wanted.
Oof.
Oh, you'll be sorry for this, Joe March! You will! You'll regret this!
She seems genuinely upset, but the other two aren't taking her seriously. I'm not quite sure on the age differences between the sisters. It seems like Amy is a bit younger. Oh, she's gonna do something bad. Oh, she's burning it. Is that her play that she's been writing?
Has anyone taken my novel?
No way.
Amy hasn't answered yet.
I burnt your book. I told you I'd make you pay, and I did!
Yeah, that went much more to her than just going to a play.
It's just that the only thing you care about is your writing. And it's not as if I could have hurt you by ruining one of your dresses, and I really did want to hurt you.
But that's all she has, that novel. There's so much work that she put into that.
And you begin again tomorrow.
And I will hate her. I will hate her forever.
I wonder how long this will go on for.
Joe, you promised me I could come last time. Joe!
Yeah, she's definitely not going this time.
It was a very hard loss for her.
Yeah.
I can do.
You just need to give it time.
Stay near the edge. It's not safe in the middle.
Got it.
She's gonna make her fall in. Is this her first time doing it? Or she definitely doesn't look comfortable on the ice. What a shot, wow. Does Laurie not hear her at all?
Amy, it's Amy.
Yeah, she's fully falling in.
Amy! Amy!
Yeah, you can't really, it's hard to get close.
Oh, my sister.
Yeah, I feel like that might have made them closer a bit.
You remind me of myself.
But you're never angry.
She is, she just doesn't show it.
But with nearly 40 years of effort, I'm learning to not let it get the better of me.
Yeah, something you have to learn as you grow up. You need to use that passion, you know?
There are some natures too noble to curb.
Instead of targeting at anger, target towards something productive like writing a novel.
Hannah, I wish I could go.
Oh, was that the ring?
Girls have to go into the world and make up their own minds about things.
Yeah, they all need you need a bit of independence.
Well, it would look very good on.
And he wears it on his ring finger like a wedding ring almost.
Can't you send home for another? I haven't got another. Only the one? Oh, that's so funny.
She always wears that purple one.
Dress. You have to. No.
Oh, Laurie's there.
Why are they calling you Daisy?
It's their pet name for me.
Are they bullying her somehow?
You wouldn't actually marry one of these men, would you?
I might.
Yeah, this isn't really where she belongs.
Do you like how I look?
No, I don't.
You were the rudest boy I ever saw.
He's going to be right there listening. Is he crying? Huh. Was he crying there at the end there? Maybe she was playing a song that has some significance and importance to him.
I'm sorry, John. The silk was the first real expense. It's not exactly even a dress yet. It's...
Oh.
So it's going to be even more than $50. So she does marry him in the end.
I can't resist when I see Sally buying all she wants and pitying me because I don't. And I'm tired of being poor.
Yeah, because before at the party, Laurie was like, "Are you actually going to marry these men?"
And I really am very sorry that you've had to do without so many beautiful things.
I don't want to see you.
Amy, don't be mad.
So she's an artist in the future.
I've always known I would marry Rich. Why should I be ashamed of that?
There's nothing to be ashamed of, as long as you love him.
Well,
Yeah, does she actually love him?
who we love. It isn't something that just happens to a person. And as a woman, there's no way for me to make my own money. And if I had my own money, which I don't, that money would belong to my husband the moment we got married. That marriage isn't an economic proposition because it is.
You are.
It's definitely jealous. She's forgiven him pretty quickly.
Meg perhaps mislaid a glove.
The idea of anybody coming to take Meg away, no thank you. We could never have loved the earth so well if we had had no childhood in it.
Greta Gerwig, she just has this great talent with nostalgic imagery. That scene of them running on the beach, talking about childhood. It's almost like there's that scene in Lady Bird where she's talking about driving around Sacramento for the first time. She's so great at that. It's just feeling of nostalgia. It's almost a ethereal feeling. Scenes of happiness, but it's almost somber in the memory of it.
I spent my whole life ashamed of my country.
No offense meant, but you should still be ashamed.
I'm not too sure on my American geography. They're in Massachusetts, right? I don't know if they were on the north or the south of the Civil War. They were talking about the south earlier, so I think they're on the north. And they were talking about being ashamed with that black lady. So I assume they're in the north, obviously on the side that was against slavery. Then it seems like the mother definitely is ashamed.
Well, I only sold what was my own.
Her hair.
You're one beauty.
Boy.
She looks good with short hair. She was never the most girly girl anyway, was she? So she doesn't have much attachment to it.
Is it his father?
No. It's my hair.
Oh, I don't think she would react in that way, but she does regret it.
When did you do this one?
Was the day at the beach?
Yeah, all that time ago.
Don't marry him. You know why.
She doesn't actually love him.
No.
Yes.
No, Lori.
And yeah.
I have been second to Joe my whole life in everything. And I will not be the person you settle for just because you cannot have her.
Oh, yeah.
I won't, not when I've spent my entire life loving you. I'm making a mold of my foot for Lori to remind him I have nice feet.
No, my foot is stuck. I can't get it out. Look what they got you. Here's a letter from the old gentleman. Open the note.
Got a piano.
It has gold that goes all the way around the center.
Did something happen? She seems off. Go over to thank him in person.
You remind me so much of my little girl.
Oh.
The piano's yours.
The one he lost.
You long ago. You're burning.
The Hummels are very sick.
Yeah, I thought there was something off when she went there.
Scarlet fever.
What's scarlet fever?
I visited the Hummels. The baby has died. Have you all had...
So she caught what the baby had, perhaps?
I think it's too boring. No, it's my favorite one yet. Really? Write me another. Yes, ma'am. Keep writing them. I will, even when I'm not here. It's like the tide going out. It goes out slowly, but it can't be stopped.
Yeah, so she's not getting better anytime soon.
We can't stop God's will. Well, God hasn't met my will yet.
It'll be up to you to support them all and your indigent parents in their old age.
So, at first she was portrayed, the aunt was portrayed as like kind of this evil aunt, but it seems like she does care. She wants Amy to do well so she can support the others, but that is putting a lot of pressure on her. She's kind of firm and very direct, but it seems like she does want the best for them. Is she going to accept?
I just told Fred Vaughn I wouldn't marry him.
Oh. And now Laurie's gone. Yeah, she seems disappointed in that. But she's not going to marry Fred. Would she marry Laurie? I don't know. She said she wouldn't, but it's obvious that she's always loved him. But maybe out of principle now, she won't actually do it.
Mommy, she's worse. I didn't know what else to do.
Joe, how is she?
Right, girls.
They've done a good job with like the makeup making her look sick. I guess she does look very red. She looks like she has a fever and she's very hot. So does Joe write all of this down in a book called Little Woman? Because I know at the start we saw a book. I didn't catch the name on it, but also she's been going by alternate names as well. Isn't been going by Joe when she's been writing. So I don't know.
Marsh family.
Oh, it's the dad. Oh, it's Bob Odenkirk.
Are you grown?
I wasn't expecting to see him at all. I just love those moments, that little scene at the dinner table. Beth gone this time. It's just the silence, yeah. Is this going to inspire her to write more?
I can make money. I'll sell stories. I'll do anything. I'll cook. I'll clean. I'll work.
Europe, with you.
Yes, she wants me to work on my art and my friendship course.
That's wonderful, Amy.
Growing up a bit. You could tell, like, in the past, she's obviously still disappointed and probably a bit jealous, but she's not making a scene, and she's just saying she's happy for her.
It's not good like Beth, so I'm angry and I'm restless.
Is he the one who convinces her to go to New York and become a writer?
You know, I figured you'd love me, Joe. And I realize I'm not half good enough, and I'm not this great man, and...
I don't see why I can't love you as you want me to. I don't know why.
Yeah, something intangible. She doesn't love him, but on paper she should, but she just doesn't.
I would rather hang myself than realize this, Joe.
Teddy.
I would rather be dead.
Classic manipulative technique there.
I'd hate elegant society, you'd hate my scribbling, and we would be unhappy, and we'd wish we hadn't done it, and everything would be horrid.
I don't want to disturb your writing.
I don't do that anymore.
But she made a promise to carry on writing even after she'd gone.
Your friend, Friedrich, wasn't that his name?
No. I ruined our friendship with my temper.
No, he was worried about her, wasn't he? She just disappeared out of the blue. I like that they've got the red curtain painted on the wall.
Perhaps I was too quick in turning him down.
She's having regrets now.
If he asked me again, I think I would say yes. I want to be loved.
That is not the same as loving.
Yeah, you might enjoy the feeling of being loved, but it wouldn't work out in the long term.
They have minds, and they have souls, as well as just hearts. So sick of people saying that love is just all a woman is fit for. I'm so lonely.
And she can have those other things and have love. She has ambition and talent. She can still find love in New York while still following her passions. Although it's harder back in those days.
I'm not marrying Fred. You are under no obligation to say anything or do anything. I just didn't love him as I should.
Yeah.
So we don't need to talk about it. We don't need to say anything.
It's going to be complex with what Joe was saying, but Joe doesn't really love him, so maybe it will be fine.
I miss you more than I can express.
Sure.
I think that the worst fate was to be a wife.
Now she's writing a love letter to him after she's rejected him.
I was wrong to turn you down and to run away to New York.
Now it's like the decision lays with Laurie, and I don't know who he would choose, Joe or Amy. Because Amy was saying about how she always felt like a second choice, and it does kind of seem like he's using her as a second choice after he can't get Joe, but now Joe does actually want him. It's going to cause more conflict between Joe and Amy again.
Where is she now? Did she not come straight home?
Your mother has her down at Meg's. We stopped on the way. There was no getting my wife out of their clutches. Done it now. That was meant to be a surprise. We were hoping to wait, but that is to say that now we are man and wife.
Married already? I hope what's she going to do with the letter? Is someone else going to find it?
Joe, I want to say one thing and then we'll put it away forever. I've always loved you. But the love I feel for Amy, it's different. And I think you were right about this. I think we would have killed each other.
Now she regrets it.
I already told you.
Yes, yes. Amy, I'm so happy for you. This was meant to be. Oh, I'm so relieved. Thank you.
Is she just going to bottle it up then?
I couldn't bring myself to, the house doesn't seem right without her, and couldn't go.
Because he views her kind of as a daughter, didn't he? Because he lost his own and now he's lost her as well. Burning all of her novels and writing. Even the ones she wrote for Beth. Oh no, okay, she's kept that. I wonder if she'll have Frederick read this and he'll love this compared to her other stuff.
Enclosed are the first few chapters of a piece I've only begun working on. It could suit as a story for young people, but I think it is probably quite boring. I'm sending it to you, though I doubt it. Joe March.
And she's signing it with her own name as well.
I could still hate you and leave you the house.
What about you and John?
Wait, is this the aunt's house?
But I'd love to do something that would really make Aunt March turn in her grave. I'd like to open a school.
Okay.
I started something, but I don't think it's very good. Well, who will be interested in a story of domestic struggles and joys?
Maybe it doesn't seem important because people don't write about them.
But, John, dear, I don't know anyone.
I'm sorry to intrude.
We were at the same boarding house together in New York.
Oh, Joe, he's very handsome.
Is she going to end up together with Frederick then?
If you ever come to California, I would love to see you.
I don't know that I will, but thank you.
Is he...
What? Why are you all looking at me like that?
Joe, you love him.
What? No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You need to go after him.
Never thought I'd prepare a carriage to help Joe March chase a man, but I like it.
He's moving. He was practically begging for a reason to decide.
Yeah, that when he was like, oh, there's nothing keeping me here. It was like, he was asking for her to say, I'll be your reason, you know?
Father, are you publishing What happened to the Little Women? Tell me you have the rest of this book.
What?
So it's going to get published because his daughters like it.
I don't see why she didn't marry the neighbor.
She doesn't marry either of them.
No, that...
He's super invested.
Well, I suppose marriage has always been an economic proposition, even in fiction.
Just end it that way, will you?
Fine.
I like that. He's like speaking for the audience a bit.
Ask me to stay.
No, I want you to stay.
I have nothing to give you, Joe.
It doesn't matter.
They can have the house and run a school together.
I love it. It's romantic. Now, there's the question of the contract. I'm prepared to give you 5% of the royalties.
5%?
Profit.
5% of the net profits. 5.5%. That's very generous.
9%.
6%, and that's it.
If I'm going to sell my heroin into marriage for money, I might as well get some of it.
And just turned it to a school, yeah. Oh, they've had a kid? Or is that just a child at the school? JL Marsh, yeah. So she was going by her own name for it as well. Okay, so that was Little Women. Yeah, I really loved that. Especially at the end, it was just a really great feel-good movie. Greta Gerwig just nails it again, you know. I think this just cements her as one of my favourite filmmakers. It's just the care that she puts into her movies is just so apparent, and it just feels like everything is just given this great tenderness. You know, she's so great at evoking this sense of nostalgia. There's so many scenes here, these little flashbacks and montages of them as kids that are just so beautiful. And then her and Saoirse Ronan are just like a perfect combo. Saoirse just nails it every time and owns everything that she's in. I really liked the kind of structure of this. You know, we're seeing the modern day and then we're seeing the flashbacks, and they don't have to have the title cards for when the flashbacks are because it's so clear through the visual storytelling. You know, there's this like golden light that all of the flashbacks are bathed in because they're seen as so happy in their memory. So it's really obvious when we're in the flashback and when we're kind of in the modern day. And then of course at the end of the movie where kind of everyone's happy and it's all wrapped up, that golden light kind of returns. It's a great bit of visual storytelling. I really loved each of the sisters. You know, they all had their unique personalities and their ambitions and philosophies on kind of marriage and life. Amy at the start, she wanted to marry rich because, you know, she sees marriage as this financial decision as well as kind of a romantic one. But in the end, she marries Laurie because she didn't really love the other guy. So she did in the end follow her heart. And then Meg, from the start, she followed her heart and married John and was poor. Although I'm not sure how poor they really were. And especially when they were kids as well, because they obviously weren't as rich as some of their peers. Like Laurie, he was mega rich, but they didn't do bad for themselves either. We kind of saw that explored a little bit with them helping out that really poor family on Christmas. I would have liked to see a bit more exploration into the wealth side of things, but I don't think that's really what this story is going for. But I am glad it does kind of address that, and it did address kind of the Civil War and slavery a little bit as well. I really liked how at the end the publishing guy, he was kind of like a stand-in for the audience. He was saying like, oh, she should marry the guy, and then obviously Joe does go and marry Frederick. But I do think I think I would have liked it either way if Jo found happiness within herself just from being independent, but getting her book published, you know, working in her school. Either way, I would have been happy, but it does seem like she was happy with Frederick and she was actually in love with him. So I think both ways kind of work out well. Both ways would have been good endings, you know? And just because she does end up with Frederick, her kind of message about independence, that isn't like faulted because she ends up with Frederick. It still stands, and a lot of what she said was still true. You know, it isn't, I guess you could argue, it's kind of hypocritical of the story, but I don't think it necessarily is, because it's still, she still would have been happy without him. And she was kind of ready to anyway. So with Laurie, I wasn't sure who it was kind of best for him to end up with, I guess. Because Amy obviously really loved him. But I don't know if they're together, you know, eventually would this kind of imposter syndrome kind of come up with her seeing herself as the second choice to Jo, like she was worried about. And I don't know if he actually loved her back. He was saying he was, but I can't like look into the head of the character and know if he truly actually was. But he said he was, so I guess you just kind of have to take his word for that. And it does make me wonder what would have happened if he had found that letter that Jo had written for him. Because he obviously did love Jo, but I don't know if she would ever truly love him back. Like, was she writing the letter because she actually loved him, or was it just because she had this loneliness, you know? I don't know what pairing would have been happier together. Would Jo and Laurie kind of argue like she predicted he would, you know? It's difficult to know how that would have worked and what choice was the best choice. All, you know, making a choice about love is so difficult because it is one of the most important things in your life, especially if you bring into account all the things Amy was saying about it being a financial decision as well. Yeah, it's one of the most important decisions in your life because you need to be, it affects your happiness and everything. You need to be happy, but then, you know, we saw with the Meg side, you need to be happy. And she was happy with John, but she was unhappy because of their financial situation. But then that was kind of partially her own fault for wasting this money on the dress, and she eventually fixes that by selling it. And she is happy with John in the long term. Probably Jo will financially support them now that she has this house from the aunt and all this money from the book, which I imagine will do very well. You know, the whole thing that happened with the book is a great argument for inclusion in storytelling, because you had this guy who didn't see the value in the book until his daughters read it without him knowing and wanted to read more. He didn't see the appeal of it because he's a man, but his daughters could, and it probably would do very well. That's why inclusion is so important. It's important to let other people tell stories and for people to see themselves in the story, because the girls, those little girls, they probably loved it because they could see themselves in the story. They could probably see themselves as the sisters in the story, you know? So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. If you did, be sure to leave a like or a comment. And if you really love this video, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date for all of the future videos. Next week will be Taken, and that's already on Patreon right now if you're interested. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.